Welcome to Kragujevac. Serbia's former capital city, twice, and the fourth largest city in the country. Although the area's history dates back to ancient times, the first writings of Kragujevac date back to 1476, where it was mentioned in an Ottoman survey. It was written that the settlement consisted of a marketplace and some 32 houses. But given the fact that the city, and really Serbia in general, sits in a very historically contested area, in 1718 the city was freed from the Ottoman rule and was now part of the Habsburg Kingdom. But in 1739, the Ottomans retook the town, only to lose it again in 1789. But this time it was Serbian rebels who had freed themselves from Turkish rule. Once again, to the Habsburg Kingdom. But the mostly rural Serbian population of the area was beginning to get agitated with the empire. And Kragujevac was the center of the revolution. That was first attempted in 1804, not fully successfully, and then the revolution was successful in 1815 when the Serbian rebel forces managed to free themselves from the Habsburg Empire. So, given these many conflicts in the area, Kragujevac was largely depopulated. But even with this, the city was declared the capital of the new Principality of Serbia. And in 1835, it was here in Kragujevac that the first Serbian constitution was written, which at the time was one of the most liberal constitutions that had been composed in Europe. Although the city lost its capital status in 1841, the city was actually flourishing economically. The largest employer at the time was Zastava Arms, who was operating in the city's new foundry complex, which was built in 1835, which is where we are now. These large columns here are the chimneys from the production. So Zastava Arms was a huge producer of military weapons, but mostly munitions. Zastava Arms, known as ZTV in Serbia, some bathrooms here, produced munitions and weapons, its main production being cannons. This was in 1850 when the foundry complex was complete. So following the creation of the foundry, which was called Nez's Arsenal, the economic development of the city continued to grow at an unprecedented pace. The first telephone exchange was built in 1858, and then in 1868 there was the first brewery, and then in 1870 there was the first printing press. And then in 1886 the railroad was built that connected Belgrade to Niš, which is the second city in the south of Serbia, and also connecting Kragujevac. And this facilitated and increased the export of the munitions being produced. In fact, Zastava Arms still operates today and is the largest producer of arms for the Serbian military, and has actually been acquired by the Serbian Ministry of Defense. But 95% of things produced by Zastava Arms are actually exported around the world to over 40 countries. And the formerly state-owned Zastava Automobiles was purchased by Fiat in 2008. The automotive plant, which is kind of behind where I was showing before, that we can't really visit, employs 2,000 employees and produces the Fiat 500L, and has produced over 500,000 units. Actually, here's a Fiat 500L. In World War I, Kragujevac once again became the capital of Serbia. And the seat of many public institutions, such as the Supreme Army Command. This may have been due to the fact that the majority of the weapons and munitions were being produced here. But unfortunately, during the First World War, about 15% of Kragujevac's population was lost. And then following World War I, the city became part of the newly formed kingdom of Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes, which was later renamed to the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. And then during World War II, Nazi Germany invaded Yugoslavia. So Kragujevac was under Nazi control. But naturally, the people of the city tried to fight back. But the General Wilhelm Kettel, the German general, proclaimed that for every German soldier wounded, 50 people must die. And for every German soldier killed, 100 people must die. Among those killed were a class of elementary school students. And this, the Broken Wings Memorial, remembers this horrific tragedy. The broken wings signifies the interrupted flight of these young innocent children whose flight was cut at a very short age. Between October 19th and 21st of 1941, 2,800 of the city's residents were massacred. This is the October 21st Museum, which is a museum that houses various artifacts and information about these dark times in the city's history. Thankfully, after the Second World War, the city of Kragujevac continued to develop and prosper. Some of the more notable industries to be propped up during this time were the production of leather, textiles, industrial chains, but the biggest industry was Zastava automobiles, which at its peak employed over 10,000 people and was producing over a dozen different models. So I hope you enjoyed this city tour and history of Kragujevac, Serbia, the fourth largest city in the country. Maybe not one of the nicer places to visit in Serbia, but definitely has its unique charm to it. And this may be anecdotal, but walking around and seeing people seem to be in a good mood even on a gray day. So if you're in Serbia, why not check it out? Speaking of cool places to check out in Serbia, coming up next on the channel will be a video of Niš, which is spelled N-I-S. That is a city south of here. And I hear that's a very pretty city. And of course, because it's in Serbia, it's also going to have a ton of history to sink our teeth into. And before that, I put out a video called Bicycling Through Southern Serbia, where you can get to see the beauty that is the mountainous half of this country. And also on this channel I have a video called Journey Through Northern Serbia, where I received a lot of generous hospitality. So in that video you can really get a sense of what Serbian people are like. Pretty interesting apartment complex here. And I also have videos of some of the more renowned cities in Serbia, such as Belgrade or Beograd, Novi Sad, and maybe a lesser known one, Subotica, way in the north, close to the border with Hungary, but also a beautiful city worth checking out. So I was in Serbia as part of a larger journey bicycling through Central and Eastern Europe. And before that, I bicycled from Cape Town, South Africa to Nairobi, Kenya. And before that, I bicycled from Canada, where I'm from, all the way to southern Patagonia in Argentina. And all of those videos from those two journeys, so from Latin America and Africa, are all on this same YouTube channel, Hum of the Earth. And if you'd like to see an interactive map of everywhere that I went and everything that I got to see and do, that is available excuse me, that is available over at my website. Follow the humoftheearth.com, where you can click on the different locations and see the various blog posts and videos that I've made of these places. And if you'd like to follow my continuing adventures, once again bicycling through Central and Eastern Europe, you can do so by clicking on the red subscribe button below the video and clicking on the bell to be notified when new videos come out. Alright, so if you like the video, click the like button, drop me a comment, let me know what you thought. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.